Hi students, so let us go to the first chapter of your second PUC NCERT textbook, that is relations and functions. I hope it is not a new word for you people, the relations and functions. You have all came across this chapter in your class 11th also regarding the relations and functions. So today in this video let us summarize some of the concepts of class 11, that is the brief introduction regarding some of the concepts like Cartesian product, what is relation, what is functions, what is range, domain, codomain. So these are the some of the concepts. Just we can brush up the class 11th chapter so that you can move smoothly with the rest of the concept regarding the class 12th chapter. So after that the main second PUC or the class 12th chapter starts with the types of relation. So let us understand what are the types of those relations and how they are related to one another. So let us understand what is those types of relations, and later what is equivalence relation. So these are the concepts which we are brushing up today or covering up in this video. So here the relations and functions, instead of saying it is one of the difficult chapter, I would like to say that it is one of the chapter where you need to concentrate a bit more than the other, because here the lot of concentration is required for you people to understand each and every concept. So you might take instead of understanding in one take, you might take more than 2 or 3 times of brushing of the same concept. Later you might understand the concept. So it requires some time, and one more thing, you must be thorough with the previous concept, because why the relations and functions chapters feels bit difficult while studying means you are not thorough with the previous chapter. If you are thorough with the previous concepts means then this chapter is one of the easiest chapter. So I would like to say one thing: understand the previous concept regarding the relations and functions from the class 11th. After understand these concepts will get to you people very easily, one by one. So let us begin with the starting, that is Cartesian product. So what is this Cartesian product? So now let us consider the two sets, that is that let set A is equal to 1 2 3 4 and set B is equal to 5 6 7 8. Okay, now we are having two product. Then the Cartesian product, that is nothing but A cross B. It is nothing but a set of all ordered pairs where the first element of the ordered pair comes from the first set, and the second element of the ordered pair, it comes from the second set. You can see here, if you consider any of the ordered pair means the first element belongs to the set A and second element belongs to the set B. You can take any ordered pair. So this is what the Cartesian product is saying. Why each pair or each element of the Cartesian product, it is nothing but ordered pair. Why we are calling it as an ordered pair? The each element of the Cartesian product is called as an ordered pair because the first element of the ordered pair here belongs to the first set, and the second element of the ordered pair, it belongs to the second set of the Cartesian product. So that's why each element of the Cartesian product is called as an ordered pair, and the meaning of the ordered pair is that itself. So this is what the basic concept of a Cartesian product it is saying. Now what is relation then? If it is a Cartesian product means what is relation? So relation, if I am defining, suppose if A is related to B, if A and B are two set means then the relation between two set, it is denoted by A or B. So a relation from set A to B, it is nothing but it is the subset of what? Cartesian product A cross B. It is the subset of A cross B which is taken in any or some order, which is taken in any order or some order or some order. So what is this taken out in any order? So in the set concept you might be knowing, subset means, suppose if you have given any universal set like 1 2 so on up to 9 means, and if A is equal to 1 2 3 means, then we are saying that A is the subset of U, because whatever the elements are present in the set A, it is belonging to this universal set. The elements of the set A are taken from this universal set. So we are saying A is the subset of U. So that is what here we are saying. So relation means it is a subset of A cross B. In A cross B, we are having all the possible element, that is each elements of the set A is related to set B. That is what Cartesian product is saying. So subset of A cross B means we are taking some elements or all the elements of the Cartesian product A cross B. It might be in any order. That's what I am saying, any or some order. So suppose if I am defining one of the relation, I am defining this relation in the rule form. Let R is equal to A comma B. So the elements of the relations are in the form of what? Ordered pair. A comma B is such that A and B are even numbers. They are even numbers for all A belonging to A and B belonging to B. So what the relation is saying means, the relation is saying that we are considering A and B, where A and B are whatever the elements of relation, it is in the form of ordered pair, where A and B are even numbers for all A belonging to A and B belonging to B. Okay. Now what are those elements? I have mentioned here the relation in the rule form. By looking into this example, let us go with which and all those ordered pair which is coming under this relation. So 1, 5 not at all possible, because 1 is also even, 5 is also even. They are saying both should be even number. 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8 not at all possible, because here 1 is even. So you need to see which and all even number is present in the set A, 2 and 4, which and all even number present in the set B, 6 and 8. So by looking into that, you can see, oh, 2, 6, 2, 8, 4, 6, 4, 8. So what and all those elements? 2, 6, 2, 8, 4, 6 and 4, 8. So these are the 4 ordered pairs which belonging to the relation R according to the above defined way. That is A and B both are even for all A belonging to A. You can see here the first element of ordered pair belonging to the set A, second element of the ordered pair belonging to the set B in each of the ordered pair. So this is the relation. I will call this one as R1. Suppose if I define another relation R2 such that A comma B such that A and B are odd numbers. If I define both are odd numbers for all A belonging to A and B belonging to B, means how it will be. So ordered pair, you know that 1, 3 are odd numbers, 5, 7 are odd numbers. So what and all elements? 1, 5, 1, 7, 3, 5 and 3, 7. So these are the elements or the ordered pairs which are coming under this defined relation. Now you can see clearly that R1, it is the subset of A cross B, because all these 4 elements belonging to this Cartesian product. R2 is also the subset of A cross B, because all the 4 elements belonging to this A cross B. So this is what the relation is saying. So in the set theory, you people might have went through some of the concepts like if set A is having 3 elements, if set A is having 3 elements, like set A is equal to A, B, C, if I call this one as 3 elements, means then how many number of subsets of set A is possible, means of set A. How many number of subsets of set A is possible, means how we used to write 2 to the power number of elements in set A, that is 2 to the power 3, which is equal to 8 subsets are possible with the 3 elements in the set. So this is how we are dealing with the set theory. Same concept follows here when we are dealing with the how many relations are possible. How many relations are possible here. So for that you can see here clearly the number of elements in the set A, it is 4. Number of elements in the set B, it is also 4. So number of elements in A cross B, it is nothing but 4 into 4, it is 60 number of elements are, 16 number of elements. So here the elements are nothing but ordered pairs in A cross B. So total number of relations possible, total number of relation, because here relations are subset of A cross B. So the total number of relations possible, it is nothing but 2 to the power number of elements in A cross B, which is nothing but 2 to the power of 16. So totally 2 to the power of 16 relations are possible with the Cartesian with the number of elements in A is 4 and number of elements in B is 4. Suppose in general, if I am saying means, if number of elements in set A is P, number of elements in set B is Q, means then number of elements in A cross B, it is equal to PQ, that is product PQ. Therefore total number of relations, it is nothing but 2 to the power PQ. So this is what the general way we are saying. This is how the number of relations we are going to be defined or found. So the next is function. So function, it is denoted as f from A to B. So clearly function is a relation. Function, it is a relation. Not only this much, still extension is there. It is a relation in which no two ordered pair will have same first element, or another way, or this is one of the definition. Another way we can say what is function. So that is nothing but each element of A has one and only one image in set B. So this is what a function is saying. So let us consider one of the function, what they are defining. F is equal to A comma B such that B is equal to A plus 5 for all A belonging to A and B belonging to B. This is what they are defining the function in the rule form. So our A and B set are this itself, which I have taken in the beginning itself, the Cartesian product. So here they are saying B is equal to A plus 5. So we know that what are the elements of A? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the elements of B is nothing but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I take A is equal to 1, if A is equal to 1 means 1 plus 5, it is 6, whether it is there? Yes. So 1 is belonging to set A, 6 is belonging to set B. Okay, done. Next 2 plus 5, it is 7, it is belonging to set B. Done. Next 3 plus 5, it is 8 is belonging to set B. Done. Next 4 plus 5, 9, whether 9 is belonging to the set B? No. So this ordered pair is not possible because 9 is not belonging to set B. So the functions to the given function, these are the ordered pair. You can see that these ordered pair is also lying in our Cartesian product. Now what they are saying, now let us go with this whether it is a function or not. What we can understand it with this definition. It is a relation in which no two ordered pair will have same first element. Consider any two ordered pair. Whether any of the ordered pair is having same first element? No, not at all. Here 1 is having 1, 2, 3. So all the first element of the ordered pairs are different. So it is a function. Another definition, what they are saying, each element of A has one and only one image in set B. So what is this image and pre-image? Suppose if I consider this ordered pair, 6 is the image of 1 and 1 is the pre-image of 6. This is what image and pre-image is saying. So they what I am saying, for each element of A, one and only one image of set B. So for 1 it is having 6, so the no element of set A, that is 2, 3, 4. So no, not for the any of the other elements of the set A we are having the same image 6. So 2 it is having uniquely 7, 3 it is having uniquely 8. So this is what the second definition is saying. So now let us move to this example which I have given in the relation. Now let us check whether this relation is a function according to this definition. So what is the first definition? They are saying no two ordered pair we are having same first element. Compare here. Here comparing these two ordered pair, the first element of these two ordered pair are 2 itself. So it is not a function. So it is not a function. Similarly here the first two elements in the first two ordered pair, the first element of these two ordered pairs are same, so it is not a function. This is according to the first definition. Second definition, if I am saying, means each element of A is having one and only one image of set B. You can see here 2 is having 6 as image, and again 2 is having 8 as image. So 2 is having 6 as well as 8. So both are there, so it is not a function. Again here 1 is having 5 and 7 both as image, so it is not a function because they are saying it should contain only one and only one image of the set B, so it is not a function. So this is what the definition of function is saying. So these are the two definitions. Now the thing is, what is this domain and range of the function? So here in this example, so domain, it is nothing but it is a set containing first elements of the ordered pair. First elements of the ordered pair. So in this function, so what is the domain? What is the domain? It is nothing but what are the first element of these ordered pair? It is 1, 2, 3. So this is the domain. What about in this example? Domain, it is nothing but 2 and 4. What about this? Here the domain is 1 and 3. Similarly, what is range? It is also a set containing the second element of the ordered pair. So what is the range here? So range here, it is nothing but 6, 7, 8. It is the range. What about range here? It is, I will write it here. Here range is nothing but what? 6 and 8. What about here? In this example, the range is 5 and 7. So the domain, it is saying the first element of the ordered pair, it is nothing but the domain. The second element of the ordered pair, it is nothing but the range. Then what is codomain? So codomain, it is nothing but the second set, whole set B, it is nothing but the codomain. Here also the second set B, it is nothing but the codomain. So the whole set B is called as codomain. In this example, our B is nothing but what? Codomain. B, it is nothing but 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is nothing but the codomain. So these are some of the basic concepts which we have already learnt in the class 11 regarding the Cartesian product, relations, how many relations are possible with the Cartesian Cartesian product, and what is function. We have came across 2-3 definitions of the function, understood those definition in the easier way. Here also again I am explained these definitions of the functions, and what is domain, what is range, and what is codomain. So these are purely the basic concept of the class 11. So now let us move to the class 12th concept, that is types of relations. So it is purely your class 12th concept. So while explaining the definition of relation itself, I have said that relation, it is the subset of Cartesian product. So to get the Cartesian product, we need some set. So I am taking here I need a relations. To get a relation, it should be the subset of some of the Cartesian product. So I am defining the relation. So let R be a relation. I am considering R is a relation on the set A. So that is nothing but I am considering the set A. I am taking the Cartesian product A cross A. The Cartesian product is defined upon A itself, that is A cross A. So clearly then R is the subset of A cross A, or we can say is A is related to A itself. This is the relation I am considering. This is what this statement can be written as. R is the relation on set A means A is related to A, or A is the subset of A cross A. So I am taking generally, let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we all know that A cross A, how it will be. So this is our set A, and it is Cartesian product. Here the relation is defined on the set A itself. So A is related to A means A cross A. So whatever the ordered pair 1, 1, it is related to A itself. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, etc. So these are the elements of the Cartesian product A cross A. So now let us define some of the relations, types of relation. So whatever the types of relation I am defining here by taking some of the example for your understanding purpose. So whatever I am considering those type, or while taking the example, this will be the Cartesian product. This will be our Cartesian product, and all those relations are the subset of this Cartesian product. So please note down this one, so that you are not going to get confused while explaining each and every type of relation, because I am not repeating this one again and again. So please note down this one. Our first relation, it is nothing but null or void or empty relation. Null or void or empty relation. Remember all these names, because all these names plays an important role when it comes to MCQ. If you remember only this type, this relation with only null relation, if they use void means you will think like, oh, what is this new word, like that. So remember all these three words. So it is null or void or empty relation. Now suppose if I define a relation R A comma B such that B is equal to A plus 5 for all A belonging to A and B also belonging to A itself, because here relation is defined on A itself. So A and A itself. So now I need to take consider this relation. So what are the elements coming under this relation? Suppose if I take A, this least element, that is 1. If I take A is equal to 1, what is the value of B? 1 plus 5, which is equal to 6. So for the least element itself, the number is out of this relation, because 6 is not belonging to A here. Here it is only up to 4. So 6 is not belonging to A. So for 1 itself, there is no ordered pair means. Then regarding if we take 2, 3, 4, so there will be no element in this Cartesian product A cross A satisfying this relation. So this relation is equal to empty, because there is no element which satisfies this condition as well as this condition. If it is satisfying for any value of A, it is satisfying this condition means, but that element is not belonging to the set A. So there is no any ordered pair in this relation. So such type of relation where there is no element or there is no ordered pair in the defined relation means, then such relations are called as null or void or empty relation, because that relation is equal to empty or 5. This is how we are saying such type of relations are called as empty relation. So the next type of relation, it is a universal relation. Suppose if I define relation A comma B such that mod A minus B, that is greater than or equal to 0, for all A comma B belonging to set A. So as I said in the belonging, our set A is 1, 2, 3, 4 and A cross A, all those 16 elements of those Cartesian product, that is our major Cartesian product. So you can see here clearly, if I take any value A or any value B from the set A, it will be whatever. For example, if I take A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2, so 1 minus 2, it will become minus 1. Mod of, here since we are using mod, the negative will become positive. So mod of minus 1, it is nothing but 1. So it is greater than 0. If I take A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, 2 minus 1, 1. Mod of 1 is 1 itself, 1 is greater than 0. So it's like this, if you take any of the elements from the set A, whatever the elements you are taking, it is satisfying this condition. So you can see that relation A is equal to A cross A itself, because every element of this Cartesian product A cross A, it is satisfying this relation. So in other words, if I put this relation, I mean this one in the words, means every element of set A, every element of set A is related to every element of set B. That is nothing but, here B is nothing but A itself, because I am not considered A cross B here. B is nothing but A itself. So if I say, means if every element of set A, it is related to set B, means then that will be coming under the relation, means then such type of relations are called as universal relation. If I am putting it in the simple word, means if our relation R, it is nothing but our whole Cartesian product, means then such relations are called as universal relation. So now this null relation and universal relation is called as trivial relation. It is called as trivial relation. In null relation, our relationship will be equal to empty. In the universal relation, our relationship will be equal to our whole Cartesian product. So remember it in the simple way. In null relation, our relation is empty. In the universal relation, it will be our whole Cartesian product. So such type of relations are called as trivial relationship. Now I am taking one of the type of relation which is not defined in your textbook, but I am taking it as one of the relation to understanding you purpose. That is nothing but identity relation. Identity relation. So what is this identity relation? If R is equal to A comma A such that A belonging to A. So as we all know that our A is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. So according to this relation, our R will be equal to 1 comma 1, because A comma A, where A belonging to A, we should have doublets here. I am calling this type where same number repeats, where I am calling it as doublets. So 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2. So this is nothing but our, if they ask whether this relation is an identity relation, yes, it is an identity relation, because each element is 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2. That is what they have required. This is what identity relation is saying. So why I explain this one, means you will come to know with the definition of second relation, which is very important. So here our first exercise, that is 1.1 exercise, is mainly depending upon the next three relations, types of relations, and based upon that equivalence relation. So understand these three relations properly. First is reflexive relation. Reflexive relation. So what is this reflexive relation then? So reflexive relation, it is defined as R is equal to A comma A such that for every A belonging to A, So here I have used the phrase for every. So our set A, it is consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I talk about the relation R, means here every element of the set A, every element. So understand this phrase, for every, very important. So for every element of the set A, there, if the relation is consisting of doublets for every element of the set A, then such relations are called as reflexive relation. So now I have considered some of the examples here. So first example, you can see here 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So I need to check whether these relations are reflexive, whether it is reflexive or not. So let us see 1, 1. So they have said doublet should be occurred for every. So therefore 1 it is there, for 2, 2, 2, for 3, 3, 3. For 4 it is not 4, 4 is not there. They are saying for every A belonging to A, for every element of the set A, there must exist the doublet. So such relations are called as reflexive relation. Here 4, 4 is not there, so it is not a reflexive relation. The next is 1, 1, it is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there, 4, 4 is there. So for all the 4 elements of the set A, we are having the doublet. So this relation is our reflexive relation. What about this? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 and 2, 3. So for all the elements of the set A, we are having the doublets. Along with that, we are having one of the ordered pair. So here we are only checking for the reflexive relation. What reflexive relation is saying? There must exist the doublets for every A belonging to A. For every A belonging to A, we are having the doublets. Whatever might be the other ordered pair, we are not bothered because we are checking for reflexive relation. So whatever might be other ordered pair exist in that relation, if we are having the required, that is the doublets, means then the relation is reflexive relation. So suppose if there is any other 2 ordered pair also, means it is not at all problem for us. We required only doublets for every element of A. So for every element of A, we are having the doublets, then it is a reflexive relation. So why I defined here identity relation? You can see here our element, it is having 4 elements, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even it is consisting the doublets of any 2 elements, means then also it is a identity relation. But this relation, it is not a reflexive relation, because here this relation is not having 3, 3 and 4, 4. You can check here the identity relation in this example itself. Whether this relation is the identity relation, yes, it is the identity relation. Even though it is not a reflexive, it is identity relation, because whatever the elements present here, those are what? Doublets. So it is a identity relation. So what about this one? Yes, here it is a identity relation, because you can see here whatever the elements we are present here, it is having the doublets. So it is here you can see it is also reflexive relation as well as a identity relation. So this is the what major difference I need to mention. What is identity relation and reflexive relation? So remember this one. But identity relation, it is not mentioned in your NCERT. I just mentioned this for your understanding purpose. So but reflexive relation, it is very important and one of the easiest. Remember this definition, that's all. R is equal to A comma A for every A belonging to A. Clearly, whatever the elements are present in the set A, for all those elements, if doublets exist, means then those relations are reflexive relation. That's all. So the next relation, it is a symmetric relation. So what is the symmetric relation definition saying? If A comma B belongs to R, implies B comma A belongs to R for all A and B belonging to the set A. That is, if I am saying in our usual way, means if I use like ulta pulta type relation. So what is this ulta pulta? If A comma B belongs to R, means then it's ulta, that is B comma A also should belong to that relation. If A comma B belongs to R, then it's ulta B comma A is also belonging to that relation means then that relation is called as symmetric relation. You will understand this with understanding some of the example. So here are some of the examples. Okay, so I need to check here whether these relations are what symmetric or not. Okay, so what I said, for any ordered pair present in the relation, it's ulta, that is if A comma B belongs to R, B comma A also should belongs to that R. I'll considering the first example. In that I take first ordered pair 1 comma 2. What is the ulta of this 1 comma 2? It is 2 comma 1. Whether it is there in this relation? No, 2 comma 1 is not there. No need of checking for rest of the thing. If 1 is not there means for one ordered pair it is not satisfying means then it is not at all symmetric. So it is not a symmetry because 1 comma 2 is there but 2 comma 1 it is not there. So it is not a symmetry. Next, 1 comma 2 is there. It's ulta. 2 comma 1 is there. Yes, it is there. Again 2 comma 1. It's ulta. 1 comma 2 is there. Yes, it is there. 1 comma 1, it's ulta 1 comma 1 itself. 2 comma 2, it's ulta 2 comma 2 itself. 3 comma 3, it's ulta 3 comma 3 itself. So for each ordered pair we are having what? It's ulta, that is for each A comma B belonging to A R, we are having B comma A also belonging to R. So it is a reflexive. Remember here I used here for all A comma B belonging to A. I not used for every. Here I used for every A belonging to A, but here for all. So whatever the condition is there, those two ordered pair, the elements in the ordered pair, it should belonging to the set A, but not I am not saying for every ordered pairs of the set A. So understand what is this for all and for every is same. The next example, 1 comma 2. 2 comma 1 is there. Yes, 2 comma 1 is there. 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2 is there. 2 comma 3, whether 3 comma 2 is there. 3 comma 2, no, there is no 3 comma 2. No need of checking for the rest. It is not a symmetric relation. Next, 1 comma 2, for doublets type, its ulta is that ordered pair itself. So 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1 itself. 2 comma 2, that itself. 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3 itself. 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4 itself. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there. For 2 comma 1 it's ulta 1 comma 2 is there. For 2 comma 3 we need 3 comma 2. Whether 3 comma 2 is there? No, 3 comma 2 is not there. With one ordered pair it is not a reflexive or not reflexive. It's not a symmetric relation. Next here 1 comma 1 its ulta is there. 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4. So it is a symmetric relation. So this is what they are saying. If we consider any ordered pair, if A comma B is belonging to that relation means its ulta, that is nothing but B comma A, that also should belongs to this relation. If this is there, this must exist. Then that relation is a reflexive relation. So it should satisfy for every ordered pair in the relation. For every ordered pair in the given relation, this condition should be satisfied. So this is what symmetric relation definition is saying. For the same example, let us also understand reflexive, so that whether these relations are reflexive relation or not, so that your definition regarding the reflexive relation, it becomes even easier. So you can see here what I said in the reflexive relation. For every A belonging to A, we should have doublets. Here having 1 comma 1. There is no 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4. It is not a reflexive, because doublet should exist for every element of A. Here we are having 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, but it is not having 4 comma 4. It is not a reflexive. Here 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, but we are not having 4 comma 4. So it is not a reflexive. Again here 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4. So we are having doublets for every element of A. Whatever might be the elements remaining in that order, in that relation, it is not at all our bothered. We have doublets for every element of A, then it is a reflexive. Here, yes, this is a reflexive relation. So I am again summarized with what is reflexive relation in the symmetric relation example only, so that you people will get to know the reflexive relation even better. So this is what a symmetric relation is saying. So in that symmetric relation, I am explaining one of the note which is not mentioned in your NCERT, but it is very helpful for when it comes to some of the competitive examination purpose. I have considered one of the relation. If I take the inverse of this relation, how I am taking the inverse of this relation are, it is nothing but I am writing the ulta of each ordered pair. What is the ulta of 1 comma 1? It is 1 comma 1 itself. 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2 itself. 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3 itself. 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4 itself. For 1 comma 2 it is 2 comma 1. For 2 comma 1 it is 1 comma 2. For 2 comma 3 it is 3 comma 2. Suppose if our relation R is equal to its inverse, means then our relation R is the symmetric relation. Then such relations are called as symmetric relation. So how we can say when our R is equal to R inverse? When we say the two relations are equal, how we are going to determine these two relations are equal? Each ordered pair must be equal. So 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1 equal, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4. For 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2 is there. 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 is there. 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2. No, we are saying two ordered pairs are equal, means its corresponding first and second element should be equal. So this is not equal to here. So here R is not equal to R inverse. Therefore our relation R is not symmetric. It is not symmetric. That is what? Not symmetric. This example I have taken, this example itself you have written here not symmetric with the general checking. So this is how we are going to even determine whether the given relation it is a symmetric or not with the help of inverse of a relation. This is one of the way. So please note this method also, with the help of inverse of a relation. So the next type of relation, it is a transitive relation, which is one of the important relation where you need to understand this relation very carefully. So what is this definition of transitive relation is saying? If A comma B and B comma C belongs to the relation R. So how this will be there? A comma B and B comma C means the second ordered pair. In the second ordered pair, the first element of the second ordered pair is equal to the second element of the first ordered pair. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, if these two ordered pairs are in the relation R, means then A comma C means these two elements containing one ordered pair, that should also belong to the same relation. If these two belongs, along with that, if this also belongs to that relation, means then such relations are called as transitive relation. I am explaining it again. That is A comma B belonging to R, B comma C belonging to R. This second ordered pair. How it will be our second ordered pair? The first element of the second ordered pair should be equal to the second element of the first ordered pair. So such type of those two ordered pairs are existing in one of the relation, means then the third ordered pair, how the third ordered pair will be? That is nothing but A comma C, the first element of the first ordered pair and the second element of the second ordered pair, containing both combined together and form one ordered pair, that is A comma C. That ordered pair also should belonging to that relation. Then such type of relations are called as transitive relation. So let us understand this relation one by one with some of the following example. So 1 comma 2 is there. How must be our second ordered pair? It should be of like the second element and the first element of the second ordered pair must be equal. So here it is 2, means the for next ordered pair's first element also must be 2. So I need to consider this one. This cannot be considered because 2 is not equal to 1. So 1 comma 2 is also belonging to R. 2 comma 3 also belonging to R. So A comma B, B comma C is also belonging to R. Then what should belong to R? A comma C, that is 1 comma 3 also should belongs to this R. Whether 1 comma 3 is there, so not at all there. So it is not a transitive relation because 1 comma 3 is not there. It should satisfy for each and every ordered pair. In the beginning itself it is not satisfied, so it is not a transitive relation. Next 1 comma 2 is there. The next 2 comma 1, here it's only I am taken this one, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there. Whether 1 comma 1, a comma b belongs to R, b comma c belongs to R, then a comma c, it is nothing but 1 comma 1. Yes, 1 comma 1 also belongs to R. Next 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1, again this one is also belonging to R. Next 2 comma 1, 1 comma 3, whether 2 comma 3 is there? No, 2 comma 1 is there, 1 comma 3, this is a comma b, this is b comma c. What is a comma c? 2 comma 3, whether 2 comma 3 is there? No, 2 comma 3 is not there, so it is not a transitive relation. This is how you need to check for all the possibility of ordered pair here. Not like 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1 is there, so moving to next. No, there is another possibility, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 3. So you need to check for all the type of possibilities. Next 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1 is there. Yes, 1 comma 1 is there. The next 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1 itself, done. 2 comma 3, the next 3 comma 3, it is only possible, then 2 comma 3 itself, it is there. Again 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2 itself, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 itself, 3 comma 3, there is no ordered pair called b comma c, so it is not at all affecting. Like here a comma b is there, but we are not having b comma c because 3 comma 3 is there, but we are not having any ordered pair which is starting with 3. So if this itself is not there, we need to say it is there is need to check for a comma c when we are having both the ordered pair a comma b and b comma c is there, means then there we need to check for a comma c. If b comma c itself not there, means then there is no need of checking for a comma c, so it is not at all affecting our relation. So 3 comma 3 is not at all affecting, then this relation is a transitive because for all the other ordered pairs we have checked one for each and every ordered pair, it is satisfying the transitive relation. So this is a transitive relation. Again, so one thing you can understand here clearly, that is nothing but if I am comparing any ordered pair with the doublets, means we are going to get the same ordered pair as a comma c, that is 1 comma 2, 2 comma 2, our AC will be what? 1 comma 2 itself. That is what I am saying. If I am comparing any ordered pair with the doublets, means we are going to get the third ordered pair AC has our what? This itself, what? Another ordered pair 1 comma 2 itself. That's all what I am saying. Again, so try to understand with few examples. You might feel difficult in the beginning, but try to understand it step by step. So again I am moving for the next example. 1 comma 1, it is AB. I need to check for BC. How? 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2. What will be our AC? 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 means AC will be 1 comma 2. Whether 1 comma 2 is there? 1 comma 2, yeah, this itself AC because I compared the ordered pair with the doublets. So we got 1 comma 2 itself. Then next 2 comma 2, 2 comma 1, we are going to get AC has 2 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 itself, it is there, done. Then next 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, and our ordered pair is 2 comma 3 itself. The next 3 comma 3, there is no ordered pair to compare, so it is not at all affecting. 4 comma 4, there is no ordered pair to compare, that is there is no BC is existing, so it is not at all affecting. Next 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1, yes it is there. This is AB, this is BC, AC will be 1 comma 1, yes it is there. The next 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1 itself our AC, yes it has satisfied. The next 2 comma 3, 3 comma 3, again we are going to get AC has 2 comma 3 itself. Any other possibilities there? No. So for each ordered pair, the transitive relation condition is satisfied. So this is our transitive relation. Now for 1 comma 1, there is no other the BC to check, so it is not at all bothered. This is also not at all bothered, not bothered, not bothered. If this relation is not at all bothered means then this relation is a transitive. For example, if I take R and take it as 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 4 as our relation and asked you to check whether it is a symmetric, reflexive and transitive. It is not at all reflexive because it is not containing the doublets of any of the term belonging to the set A. So it is not reflexive. Okay. Symmetric, 1 comma 2 is there but 2 comma 1 is not there. It is not symmetric. But to check for transitive, 1 comma 2 is there but 2 comma, there is no BC ordered pair. So if there is no BC at all means there is no need to check for transitive. It is not at all bothering. So again for 3, 4, there is no ordered pair like BC to check for AC. So this ordered pair is also not at all bothering. If any of the ordered pair is not at all bothering our relation means then it is a transitive relation. That is what I am said here. Here 1 comma 1 is there. There is no ordered pair like BC to check for transitivity. So it is not at all bothering our relation. So this relation is a transitive relation. Then next move to the next example. 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, AC will be 1 comma 2 itself. Then the next 2 comma 2, 2 comma 1. So our AC will be 2 comma 1 itself. The next 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3. AC will be 2 comma 3 itself. 3 comma 3, 3 comma 2. Our AC will be 3 comma 2 itself. 4 comma 4, there is no BC element, I mean BC ordered pair. So 4 comma 4 is not at all bothering our relation. The next 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1 is already present. 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there, 1 comma 2 is there. So 1 comma 1 we are going, not 1 comma 1, it is 2 comma 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2. So the thing is 2 comma 2 it is there. So it is also satisfying. The next 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2, 2 comma 2 is also there. 3 comma 2, 2 comma 3. So 3 comma 3 it is also there. So it is satisfying. So each and every element here are satisfying the transitivity. So this relation is also a transitive relation. Now suppose here you have seen the transitive relation. Suppose along with this 4 comma 4, if I add one of the ordered pair like 1 comma 2. So if I add 1 comma 2 here, so 1 comma 1 is there, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, our AC will be 1 comma 2 itself. So again this will become what? A transitive relation. Suppose along with 1 comma 2, if I add 2 comma 3. So you can see at that time 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 3 is there, but 1 comma 3 is not there. So this is not, at that time it will not become what? Our it will not become a transitive relation. So this is what a transitive relation is saying. Suppose if you didn't get means go through this once again. The simple concept here it is, if these two type of ordered pair is existing in the relation means then this type of ordered pair, if A comma B, B comma C is belonging to the relation R means then AC ordered pair should also belong to that relation. So you need to check these condition for each and every ordered pair whether this condition is satisfying or not. That's all. So this is what transitive is saying. Now let us check whether these are symmetric. Let us once again, you will get a brief idea whether these relations are symmetric or not. So 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 1 is not there, so it is not at all symmetric. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there. For 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2 is there. For 1 comma 1, ulta 1 comma 1 itself. 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2 itself. For 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3 itself. 1 comma 3 is there, but 3 comma 1 is not there, so it is not symmetric. Again here 1 comma 2 ulta 2 comma 1. For 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2 is there. 2 comma 3 ulta 3 comma 2, it is not there, it is not symmetric. Again for 1 comma 1 ulta 1 comma 1 itself. For 2 comma 2 same, 3 comma 3 same, 4 comma 4 same. For 1 comma 2 it is 2 comma 1. For 2 comma 1 it is 1 comma 2, but 2 comma 3 is there, but 3 comma 2 is not there, it is not symmetric. For here I am not taking this. For each element the ulta is that ordered pair itself, so it is a symmetric. Here 1 comma 2 is there. For 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1 itself. 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 same, 4 comma 4 is also same. For 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there. For 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2 is there. For 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2 is there. For 3 comma 2, 2 comma 3 is there. It is symmetric. So sorry students, I have made one of the mistake here. You can see here 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 3 is there. As I said, we need to check for each and every ordered pair. I didn't check for this ordered pair. 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 3 is there, but 1 comma 3 is not there here. It is does not belonging to this relation, so this is not a transitive. So these things we need to concentrate. So that's what I said, we need to check for each and every ordered pair. So you see here 1 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 3 is there, but 1 comma 3 is not there, so it is not a transitive relation. So this is one of the mistake I made. Please check it out and correct it. So this is, now let us check for reflexive relation also. Again here 1 comma 1 is there, but 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4 is not there, it is not reflexive. Here for 1 2 3 doublets are there, 4 it is not there, it is not reflexive. For checking for reflexivity it is very easy. 1 2 3 it is there, for 4 doublets is not there, it is not reflexive. Here for all the 4 elements we are having doublets, so it is reflexive. Here also we are having doublets for all the elements, reflexive. Here also we are having doublets for all the elements, it is reflexive. So these are reflexive. So this is what transitive relation definition is saying. In that same examples we have checked for symmetric as well as reflexive to easily understand the other two definition also. So out of all these types of relation, reflexive relation, symmetric relation and transitive relation, these relations are very important. Understand each and every relation properly. If you have any doubts in any type of the relation means, you can feel free to ask me at any time. I will explain to you. Until you don't get understand, you please asking these things which you where you are stuck in with the types of relations. So now you have came to know about all the types of relation. Then the last, what is this equivalence relation? So you have came across reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Suppose if a given relation is reflexive relation as well as symmetric relation and transitive relation. If a given relation is all the reflexive, symmetric and transitive means, then such relations are called as equivalence relation. Such relations are called as equivalence relation. Suppose if I take R is equal to, so now let us see here. In this example, here it is having 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4. So clearly for each element, I have taken the example regarding our previous set A itself. So for all the 4 elements we are having doublets, so it is a reflexive. Now we need to check for symmetric. How we are checking? For each elements of the ordered pair, its ulta is there or not. For all these 4, the same ulta element is that itself. For 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is there. For 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2. For 3 comma 2, 2 comma 3. For 1 comma 3, 3 comma 1. For 3 comma 1, it is 1 comma 3. So it is satisfying the symmetric condition also. Now if I compare any ordered pair with the doublets, means we are going to get this ordered pair itself as our AC. So that thing I am not going to check, so I am checking for rest of the thing. So for 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1 is there. For 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, if 2 comma 1 is there and 1 comma 2 is there means then 2 comma 2 it is also there, done. And 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 1 comma 3 is required, that is also there. And okay, again for 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2, so 2 comma 2 is there. For 3 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1 it is also there. And 1 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 1 comma 1 is also there. 3 comma 1, 1 comma 2, so 3 comma 2 it is also there. Any other remaining? I think this much only. 3 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 3 it is also there. So for all the things it is satisfying. If you compare any ordered pair with the doublets like 1 comma 2, 2 comma 2, you are going to get this itself. So I didn't compare anything with the doublets here. So here this relation is also a transitive relation. So for a given relation it is satisfying reflexive condition, symmetric condition as well as a transitive condition, then such relations are called as equivalence relation. So this is what equivalence relation is saying. So today we have glanced or summarized our class 11th concept as well as types of relations, and at the last what is equivalence relation. So go through, this is purely basic. You have till now you have learned only the definition and some of the examples. In this we need to learn much more compared to this. The whole exercise is depending upon reflexive, symmetric, transitive. If all these three satisfy, then it is the equivalence relation. The whole thing is depending upon this itself. So if you understand these things, then the exercise is not at all, it is just like a cup of coffee. But if you didn't understand this itself means then it is very hard to understand. So understand these things properly. If you have any doubts with any type of a relation, you can ask me at any time. Thank you, students.